What is up, blockchain gang? For a change of pace, I'm going to break down the first game I ever designed called Number Blasters. This game was inspired by a game I played in school called Number Munchers, and it's no big deal or anything, but I was the high score holder 4 years in a row on both single and co-op play that was prominently displayed for everyone to see in the computer science lab, and so I figured it could also help my kids practice their math while playing video games. Now, don't look at me like that. It's not that I believe educational games are superior to traditional video games. It's that I believe that all video games are educational games. They just teach us different things, such as how relationships work, money over bitches, or how to get your money back after soliciting the services of a prostitute. And please, don't show any hate towards Roblox. I know it's a platform targeted at children, but it is free, and Lua is a basic high-level programming language. I am not a programmer, so I need something that is easy in order to bring my designs to life. Roblox is also the OG play-to-earn title that allows creators of games and user-generated content to sell their creations and cash out for fiat currency with their DevX program. It also represents 1% of all video game revenue each year, which would be great if there were only 100 games. But of course there are at least a few more than that. I don't love Roblox or anything, quite the opposite, especially when they auto-banned my account due to moderation, claiming that this bore was a sexually explicit and graphic image. I understand that mistakes can happen, but my only problem is that what if I was some kind of pervert? Would they still only have suspended me for a single day? That seems fucked up to me. Anyway, denying how much of an impact it has on the next generation of gaming is delusional because it has the same amount of daily active users as Steam. These are people who are going to grow up and expect video games to have an open loop economy, such as games on the blockchain. Also, please don't hate on my art because I'm not an artist. My goal is to make the designs work as a proof of concept and test how they change the feel of gameplay. It would be really easy to hire a graphical artist, UI designer, sound designer, and modeler to get the game looking up to user standards for the platform in a very short amount of time, due to the nature of the gig economy in Roblox. However, it wouldn't be worth the endeavor monetarily and make little to no difference in the actual gameplay. Remember that almost everything happening on the screen is being filtered out by the player's brain anyway to reduce complex ideas into their simplest form and focus on a single priority at a time. While excellent visuals may make a lasting first impression, they are often gleaned over by our subconsciousness after seeing them a few times and being entirely ignored by the 20th time. Green enemies, no matter how detailed, become green blobs and are dealt with one way, and red enemies become red blobs and they are dealt with another way, with their movement or unique characteristics being the only thing stored into memory, because they are the only aspects that are useful to the player outside of their initial identification. To begin this journey, we should start where every notable excursion into an alternate fantasy world should start, at the lore. But first, let's watch the game trailer, because I paid some kid on Fiverr $10 to make it and I want to get every penny's worth. Are you hyped yet? I know, right? Best $10 I ever spent.
There once was a secret lab built under the Great Pyramid in Egypt where science experiments were conducted in an attempt to create artificial intelligence using genetically modified organisms. One day, a routine experiment went horribly wrong. The numbers we use every day have come to life and seek only to destroy the entire human race. No matter how many numbers we killed, they wouldn't stop coming until every last one of us were destroyed. Within 24 hours, 90% of all humans and animals were destroyed. Those of us who were still able to fight refer to ourselves as the Number Blasters. Finally, one of our best scientists discovered a pattern. If we could eliminate the specific numbers in the correct time, then we can put an end to their reign of terror. Unfortunately, they can intercept our communications and thwart our attacks. We will send you a simple math problem in order to tell you what numbers to target, without the numbers being able to identify them. At first, not everyone agreed to the best way to handle the numbers. War broke out among the three factions of number blasters. Defeating the numbers is the only way to end the war. The algebros as thrill seekers, they are tournament junkies who only care about finding their next fight. Mathletes are the strongest blasters. They believe they are superior to the other factions. Pythons are the most intelligent faction, seeking to unite the other factions to have the highest probability of success. In your hands, you control one of the most sophisticated technological instruments on the planet. Use it wisely to bring peace to this world. Once enough correct numbers are blasted, we should be able to find the location of the original number. Choose your faction.
A game consists of 12 rounds and 4 boss fights. Each team has a ship that acts as a lobby between rounds where they can restock their ammo, change their loadout, or complete side quests. The team that gains 20 points by killing numbers or players on the opposing team wins the round. Each round also has a primary objective which will give additional points to the team who completes it first. As the game progresses into the third round, you find out to stop the numbers you must kill them in a particular order. Since numbers don't understand how math works, solving multiple math problems is the only way to communicate the targets without them intercepting the transmission. These problems get harder and harder as the game progresses and the numbers figure out how to break the encryption. There are 5 total classes, each with a different weapon shop. Each weapon can be upgraded numerous times depending on how much money you have and increases their various attributes. Each weapon has a unique taunt when equipped. The better the weapon, the more elaborate the taunt becomes, but also the more dangerous it is to use in the face of enemies since you are unable to fight or cancel the animation. You have a computer AI guiding you on your mission who is very rude and condescending the whole time, but starts to grow on you. Of course, this is building up to something good that I won't spoil here, but you can discover this ending for yourself if you are good enough at math to do so. In addition to weapons, you can upgrade your armor for survivability, full arm sleeve tattoos. For some reason, I thought that was a good idea. Cosmetic faces, auras, and various pets that give you bonuses that level up and grow or evolve as you play. There's a character level up and XP system, but it really only serves as a way of gating content from players to reward meta progression, vary gameplay, and not overwhelm new players with decision paralysis. The game also uses the level system to balance the teams in a fair manner. When a player joins the game that is already in progress, it will automatically assign them to the enemy team that provides the most game balance, but players are able to switch teams between rounds if they would like to play cooperatively. The teams are the Pythons, Algebros, and Mathletes, which I am very proud of. However, the biggest problem with the game is that I faced as a new designer was feature creep. This is where the ideas stack on top of ideas and exponentially increase the workload of development while adding very little to the overall gameplay experience. You want to have these things in your game just because they're in so many other games. As the game gets harder, there are far too many power-ups that cancel out the difficulty, which makes the math problems the hardest part of the game and puts too great of a focus on the problems as the only factor in your success or failure, instead of also relying on your ability. While adding these extra features, development time was lost on much more creative endeavors such as unique boss attacks or more diverse enemy types to make gameplay less monotonous. I also took a ton of time on sound development and selecting music, which is probably going to get this video demonetized, but if you knew how many hours I wasted listening to tracks and changing my mind 100 times, you would understand. Thank you all for watching. I would like the record to reflect that I don't want to have a funeral despite my wife's wishes. Instead, when my time comes, I think it would be cool if my family and friends would simply log online and play one of my games together for a few hours. That would probably be the best way that I would like to be remembered. Did you remember to subscribe too, so we can do this again sometime soon?